and high-tech toys. And, of course, moral values. We are celebrating a land that was promised to us 4,000 years ago. Promised to the Jews. And now it is back in Jewish hands. We can now pray at the graves of our forefathers in Hebron. We can now pray at the Wailing Wall. And we can go kayaking down the Jordan. We are also celebrating the Torah. Even after what we went through, after so many thousands of years of destruction and humiliation, the Jewish people still stand strong in faith. Let me ask you a small question. In Israel, when they want to show you how far you are, they say, "You're so far, I got Honolulu." Honolulu is like the furthest spot from Israel. That's what they say. My mother's Israeli. My grandmother lives in Israel. She says, "Wow, I got Honolulu." I'm like, "Yeah, go there and this." Yeah, seriously, I'm in Honolulu. 20-hour flight and 20,000 miles away. Yet we are gathered here to support Israel. If you really want to support it, why don't we just all get up and go there? Support it from the inside. The Rebbe was asked this question. "You're such a great leader," they told her. "Why don't you come down, come to Israel, and thousands of people, all your disciples and your students will come with you." Great idea. What did he answer? See, Chassidus teaches us divine providence. Every time a person is somewhere, wherever he is there for a godly reason. There's nothing that just happens by accident. Everything is there for a purpose. And so, when a person is far away from Israel, 20 hours away in flight, and he's in Hawaii, the furthest spot, he is here for a purpose, a divine purpose. And that is our purpose, and that's why even here, when we're so far away, we can still gather and do what we can to support Israel. It says in Isaiah chapter 10, "And it shall come to pass in that day that God will set his hands again the second time to recover the remnant of his people that shall remain. From Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and the last place and from the islands of the sea." The furthest place, the last place God will gather the Jews, from the islands of the sea. Obviously, if you're in the islands of the sea, there's a divine purpose. Just before I end, I want to say a small story. Howard Schultz, who was once the CEO of the famous Starbucks coffee company, relates how he was one time in Israel on a trip with 15 wealthy American Jewish businessmen. And they had a meeting with the Rosh Yeshiva, the head of the yeshiva. They waited a few minutes, and he walks in, sits on the table. He was suffering from severe Parkinson's. They couldn't even look at him. And he bangs his hand on the table, and he says, "Look at me. You guys are a bunch of wealthy American businessmen. You only have 3 minutes for me. No problem." And he looks at us and he says, "What is the lesson of the Holocaust? What is the lesson of the Holocaust?" And everyone was saying, but just no, don't ask me. The one guy gets up, he says, "Oh, we'll never forget." And the rabbi just misses him. And we're all like, "Oh, you don't know what to answer." Another guy gets up, "Oh, we'll never stand by as someone does this again." And the rabbi says, "You just don't get it. Let me tell you the message of the Holocaust and the power of the human spirit. You see, we would be loaded into cattle trains, a few hundred in a train that could fit maybe 20, 30 horses. We were packed in there, all of us. No food, no drink, and for sure not sleep. And we would travel like that for many, many days. When we finally come to our destination, the concentration camp, the door would open, we'd get beaten, thrown out, and all we wanted for was to sleep. That's what we wanted. And we'd run into the barracks, and they would give one blanket for 6 days. The inmate that got the blanket, you had to think, am I going to push the blanket to the 5 others who don't have it so they can warm themselves up? Or am I going to keep myself warm? It was then that we learned the power of the human spirit. when we pushed the blankets to 5 other inmates. And he looked at the American businessman and he said, go to America, take your blanket, and push it to 5 other people. And that is our lesson, that is our job. All of us here in Honolulu, such a far place. Take your blanket, physically. When it comes to physical matters, another person needs your help, another Jewish person, any person in humanity. He's homeless, he needs some food. Take your blanket and push it to him. But the Lubavitcher Rebbe said, when it comes to spiritual matters, there's enough blankets for everybody. Take a blanket for yourself and give 5 for the rest of them. Am Yisrael Chai.
Am Yisrael Chai.
I would like to say a little psalm for the state of Islam for everyone. Shir Amalis Essen El Haramavit Ma'in Yabi Ezri Ezri Madamei Yishnam Baret Aitim Megacha Al Yanu Shabracha Hine Lo Yanu Lo Yishan Shem Yisrael Adonai Shabracha Adonai Tzok Yadin Menacha Yim Hashem Asher Akeka Berach Leila Adonai Shmachom Mikora Yishmar Secha Adonai Shmachom Berach Teisko Yacha Ma'asa V'Adel. Nervous to do this quick explanation.
Thank you.
And just in English, we know as Jewish people we're called the people of the book, and that we have to fight our wars with weaponry, but we have a unique weapon, and that is the Torah and our mitzvahs, the commandments that God gave us. So let's all unite in prayer. Shir Lamalot, Esa Einai, El Harim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri, Me'im Adonai, Osei Shemayim Va'aretz. Al Yitain, Lamot Radlecha, V'al Yanum Shomrecha. Hinei lo yanum v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilcha al yad yaminecha. Yom hashemesh lo yakeka v'yarech balayla. Adonai yishmarcha mikol ra, yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmar tzeitcha u'gorecha me'ata v'ad olam. I lift up my eyes unto the mountains, from whence comes my salvation. My salvation comes from God, the creator of heaven and earth. He will not let my feet stumble, nor will he let me fall. The sun of the day, nor the moon of the night shall not harm me. As God will guard me, may all evil, may God guard your coming and your going now and forevermore. May Israel be blessed with peace, may we all be blessed with peace.
Amen.
I know. I was kind of fighting for myself.
I thought you knew somebody.
No, I wasn't interpreting for anybody else. I have a friend.
Huh? I want to know. Huh? You'll see it afterwards.